Story 1. Know when to say, I don't know, and I can't handle this. Let's get a professional. You'll save yourself a lot of time, money, and the color of your hair instead of being bullheaded and trying to do everything yourself. Story 2. You are only young for a period of your life. You are actually older for most of your life, so make sure your decisions take that into consideration. Story 3. You are not indestructible. All the small injuries you accumulate in your 20s and 30s will affect you later. Story 4. Start saving for retirement. I know you've all heard it, but I can't stress enough how much more money you earn from savings during your 20s. This is not a drill. Start saving money that you won't touch until retirement. In Canada, you are allowed to borrow against it for your first house down payment at low interest rates as well. Story 5. By far, the most important lesson is learning the value of time. Many people in this world fail to understand this until it is too late in life. Do not waste your time on activities you dislike or on negative individuals. Story 6. Stop trying to impress girls. It is a waste of energy, money, and time. Be who you want to be, and the right girl will be attracted to that version of you. Story 7. There is a difference between talent and skill. A skill develops through invested effort and time. All the talent in the world is wasted if it is not trained. Story 8. Admit when you make a mistake and learn from it. Do not try to hide them either. I have avoided much conflict in my adult life by being able to go to someone and say, I need you to know I made a mistake and I'm going to correct it. Or, I messed up and I need help. Blaming someone else when it is genuinely your fault often causes more problems, and mistakes you try to hide usually get discovered eventually. Story 9. How to return friendliness without assuming romantic interest from the other person. How to be a good friend to your current friend group. How to be friendly to acquaintances. How to hold a two-sided conversation. How to manage a budget and live within it. How to invest money wisely. How to cook a few simple meals. How to clean up after yourself. How to launder your clothes properly. How to be punctual. How to de-escalate a volatile conversation and recognize when to walk away. Pay attention to the important people in your life to understand what they value. You asked for one lesson, but it is essential to learn more. This list does not cover everything. Story 10. Learn to go downtown and enjoy it. Try to understand what you are doing when you arrive. Do not hesitate to ask for directions. The same techniques may not be effective for everyone. Story 11. Make friends with women. I don't mean to make friends with the intention of having romantic relationships later. I mean just be platonic friends. Having someone you can talk to with a different perspective can be very beneficial. Story 12. Getting a girlfriend will not make you happy. You may still feel sad, but you will also have the added responsibility of making someone else happy. Story 13. Learn to clean efficiently while doing other tasks. For example, if you're cooking dinner, clean the kitchen at the same time. Of course, wash your hands when handling food, but there is plenty of downtime while cooking, so don't just stand there. Make use of every minute. One day you will regret not doing so. Story 14. Be completely clear about your intentions and honest with women, regardless of how you think it will affect them emotionally. Honesty and integrity are essential, and you cannot control how someone feels. Story 15. Most people may not prioritize your well-being and might overlook you in difficult times. So find ways to uplift yourself and surround yourself with supportive individuals. Story 16. The best way to improve your life is to take action yourself. If you wait for someone or something to change, it won't happen. Work today to enhance your life in any way you feel is necessary. Story 17. Get over it. Seriously, learn to move on. Whatever it is, you're in your 30s now, grow up and move on. Did someone cut you off in traffic? Skip the road rage. Get over it and move on with your life. Was your meal subpar? Fine, it happens. Get over it. Had a rough breakup? Tough luck. Get over it and move on with your life. I can't believe the number of people over 30 who just can't let things go. The past is the past. Learn from it and move forward. Mistakes happen, we aren't perfect, and the world will keep turning. Move on. Story 18. Choose your partner wisely. Just because someone is attractive and makes you feel good does not mean they are suitable for marriage. Consider the impact on your life and career if you have children with the wrong person. Moreover, do not expect to attract a good partner if you do not treat yourself and others with respect. Story 19:1. Define your own masculinity. Don't let a podcast dictate what it means to be a man. Don't overwork yourself. The grind isn't the goal. Value your friendships and build a community. Life is difficult, and you need supportive people in your corner. These relationships require effort, but they are worthwhile. The people in our lives are what make it worth living. Be slow to anger. Story 20. Do not suppress your emotions. It only leads to something worse. Crying can help prevent mental stress. Story 21. Choose a career that pays the bills. Passion is nice when you're young, but it can become less important when you are constantly trying to manage your expenses. Story 22. Wash your body, including your groin and areas in between. It's important for personal hygiene. You may not realize it, but an odor can be noticeable. Taking care of yourself is essential. Story 23. Cherish the women around you. You can learn so much from female friends and partners. In my experience, women have an incredible amount of patience, love, and kindness. They love differently and more selflessly, and that is something we can and should try to emulate. Every woman I have met has had a negative or traumatic experience with an aggressive, abusive, manipulative, or insecure man. Do not be one of those men. Strive to be better. Build a foundation of self-worth so that you can uplift and love those around you. We are not the same as previous generations. We are not expected to suppress our feelings. We do not need to lash out at our partners because we only know how to express emotion through anger. We can be gentle, thoughtful, and supportive. Story 24. Don't be the person who destroys a marriage or a relationship. If she walked away from being someone's whole world, she can do the same to you. Story 25. Enjoy the ride. It's over before you know it. Take each chapter as it comes. Don't worry too much about the future or dwell excessively on the past. Develop habits that recharge your energy. Stay away from negative influences. Story 26. Take good care of your body. Brush your teeth twice a day, floss at least once a week, and get annual checkups. Oral health deteriorates quickly and more easily with age, leading to pain and expenses. Wash your face, wear sunscreen, and use face moisturizer regularly. It is not something you can easily fix later in life once your skin becomes dry after decades of neglect. Stay handsome for life. Work out gently and regularly for cardiovascular health and strength. Avoid injuries by maintaining proper posture while sleeping. Engage in activities like running, biking, or yoga that are easy and accessible year-round. Story 27. Apply baby powder to your groin area. Trust me on this. Women do not owe you anything. Even if you consider yourself a nice guy, find a secluded spot or a bathroom and position your erection upright toward your belly button. This hides it better and will help it go down more quickly. Lastly, body spray and deodorant are not substitutes for a shower. Clean yourself properly. Story 28. I'm not over 30, but I will always share this advice whenever I can. Drugs, alcohol, and gambling can be enjoyable, but they should not be taken lightly. After reviewing how much I spent on these activities by the time I was 25, I realized I could have easily afforded a mortgage on a house by now. Save and invest as soon as possible, even if it's just in a high-interest savings account. Compound interest is your best friend, and if you lose friends for not participating in a party lifestyle, they are not the right friends for you. Story 29. Don't let school take away the joy of reading and learning. In the digital age, you can learn just about anything if you are passionate about it. Story 30. Women are complete, whole individuals, not a playground. Engage with the person, and the benefits will naturally follow. Intelligence and capability are far more valuable than appearance in the long run. Story 31. It is not exciting, but look for a household budget template for Google Sheets or something similar. and fill it in with all your monthly bills and expenses. Go to the bank and ask for a second bank account, then set up a monthly transfer of the total amount from the sheet into the second account. Set all your direct debits to come from that account. I am terrible at being careful with my money, but as soon as I did this, I stopped getting into difficult financial situations. If I ran out of money before payday, I knew at least that all my bills were already set aside. Bonus: round all those amounts up, even by just a few dollars, to create a little buffer without thinking about it. Story 32. If you pretend to be someone else to attract women, those women are not going to like you. You should also learn to work with what you have. Most unattractive men simply do not put effort into hygiene and appearance. Story 33. Sunscreen with a good sun protection factor is essential. Start using it at a young age to form a good habit, and continue using it throughout your life. Your skin will thank you. Story 34. The three biggest mistakes you can make in this world are: 1. Having children with the wrong partner. Driving under the influence. Using drugs without researching them and obtaining them from a trusted source. You can recover from almost anything else, but these mistakes can have serious consequences. Story 35. Be willing and enthusiastic to do work, and to do it right the first time. It is work that needs to get done, and shoving it all on the other person only builds resentment. No one enjoys doing the dishes or folding laundry, but it needs to be done. Are you bothered by something? Get therapy and sort it out sooner rather than later. Sitting on problems and ignoring them does you no favors, and they can crop up in unexpected places. Story 36. Friends come and go, but enemies accumulate. Don't be unkind unless someone truly deserves it. Story 37. Learn that there are two kinds of love when it comes to partner relationships. First, the love of your life is that which burns with passion, the one you found in your early 20s. That person will rock your world and push your boundaries, opening a new view on love for you. However, it can also be foolish, reckless, and selfish. You'll want to take as much as you can, and if you are not careful, it will drain you sooner or later. When it's gone, and it leaves you empty and in pain because of its intensity. But it does so because you learned you are capable of loving someone to such a degree. This experience will forge the path for your future self in aspects such as awareness and limitations, becoming part of your belief system. It is beautiful, so cherish it, but do not get attached to it. For a better love is yet to come. The second type is the love for your life, and this is the one that comes when you have gained enough experience. You will not only want to receive love, but also to give it. It becomes a wonderful amalgamation of feelings and goals that allows you to build something lasting. However, it only comes when you have learned to love yourself, as you cannot give love without being in it. This is the one you should marry and build a life together with. It may take years to find, but it will slowly burn and provide you the warmth you have sought for so long. As someone who has loved and been loved in both situations, I wish I had learned this earlier. But only experience teaches you these lessons. Story 38. Just shave your head when your hair starts going. Spending 10 years looking like Captain Steubing before taking the plunge is not going to do you any favors. Story 39. Stay in shape. Cardiovascular training is equally important as strength training. Take care of yourself now. Do not chase women. You had plenty of time in your 20s to do so. If you made mistakes during that time, now is the time to get your act together and focus on your business. Stay focused. If you ever decide to get married, do not do it before the age of 33. Career-wise, your 30s are the right time to take calculated risks. Live in the moment and be present. Be personable. People will remember you. Call your parents often. Life happens in seasons, so do not stop working toward your career goal or whatever dream you have in mind. If you have failed once, it might not have been the right time in your life. Sometimes many things have to align: the right place, the right people, the right environment, etc. Choose your vices wisely: drugs, alcohol, pornography, gambling, or sex work. If you know you have a vice, keep it in check. If you have never used drugs, your 30s are not the time to start. Lastly, travel the world. It will open your mind. Story 40. If you have a girlfriend or wife, Give her your full support and attention. Women take what you give and turn it into something magical. Story 41. Hygiene. Pay attention to where you urinate. Spend time listening and remembering what people tell you. Story 42. Moisturize, wear sunblock, stretch, exercise, and use ear protection. If it's too good to be true, it probably is. Don't let people take advantage of you, and don't buy into insincere flattery. By the age of 30, if anyone tells you it's a good learning experience without appropriate compensation, don't engage with it. Just turn around and walk away. Be honest with yourself and don't settle for anyone. There are plenty of people out there who will be a perfect fit for you. If you are honest and open, you will find that person. Don't settle. Story 43. Learn the basic maintenance of cars. Understand tires, oil, brakes, and light bulbs. This fundamental maintenance will help you take care of your car more effectively. You don't have to perform all the tasks yourself, but having knowledge about them will help you in maintaining your vehicle. Avoid using cheap oil and do not exceed 5,000 miles between oil changes, with 3,000 to 5,000 miles being the recommended range depending on your driving habits. Do not go higher than this, regardless of what the label indicates. Do not compromise on tires, and avoid driving on worn-out tires. It is essential to be aware of these basics to prevent being stranded on the roadside. Additionally, your back may feel strong when you are young, but that may not last. Take care of it. The lifting procedures recommended by companies are legitimate. You may feel fine now, but as you reach your 30s, you may experience pain. Trust me, I am going through that discomfort now because I thought I was invincible. Story 44. Red pill influencers want you to feel angry and hopeless. They are not trying to help you. They only seek your views and subscriptions. Story 45. Not every friend is a main character in the story of your life. Some will only be around for a few seasons, and that is okay. Story 46. Being able to defend yourself doesn't benefit you in the long run. Confronting people because you feel disrespected isn't worth it most of the time. The only thing that truly matters is achieving your goals. Treat women with the same respect you would want for your mother or daughter. Be honest about your intentions and communicate openly. Story 47. No one has life all figured out. They may seem like they do, but they don't. Whether they have money, are older, or are in relationships, they are all trying to work out their next step just like you. And the big truth is, people lie. A lot. Mainly because they believe someone else's lie, and they become insecure, so then they lie. Take what people say with a pinch of salt and focus on yourself and what makes you happy. Never let anyone tell you how to live your life or control your journey. No one knows why we are here, if there is an afterlife, or what the point of this is, if there even is one. So do you? Those who want to tell you how to live do so because they feel they have lost control of their own lives. Be yourself, be happy, and take risks. Story 48. Save 20% of your take-home pay. Never agree to a joint bank account. Stay single until you establish yourself. Learn to control your temper and you will go far. You do not need a college degree to earn 6 figures. Do not let alcohol rule your life. Drink casually and know when to stop. Learn to recognize toxic behavior and distance yourself from it. Story 49. Start saving money now. Specifically in your retirement account or other investment vehicle. Even if it is just a little bit, $20 or $50 a month will add up. Compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world, and your future self will thank you when your retirement looks healthy. It will be a weight off your shoulders. Story 50. Invest as much money as you can into an index fund or retirement account. Even if it is difficult, consider contributing 10 to 15% of your income. Story 51. I wish I were as skinny as the first time I thought I was overweight. Take care of your body every week. Story 52. Hold back sharing your opinions sometimes. I used to think I needed to give my input on everything being discussed. Now I just sit back and listen. It has helped me avoid pointless drama and improved my relationships with others. Story 53. No one cares. It doesn't matter how you feel towards someone because no one cares. The only place true innocence can be found in the world is in a child. Story 54. Stop consuming multiple alcoholic beverages in one sitting. Instead, take the time to savor a single drink and appreciate it at the right moments in life. Story 55. Get over any issues you have with how your parents raised you. They are just as troubled as you, if not more, since they were raised by a less educated generation, and they did their best. Story 56. You don't need to be a man. You're already a man. You don't need to worry if something is manly. A man is doing it, so it's manly. Only you get to decide what being a man means to you. Story 57. Learn to cook. You can prepare your own healthy meals and save money while doing so. You might even find someone who appreciates it. Story 58. Priorities. Your family, yourself, your friends, the company you work for. Story 59. Most people generally won't like you. This is for individuals who are looking to make new friends or want to approach every attractive person they see at the mall. Story 60. You can't be liked by everyone, and that's normal. Once you realize this, life will usually feel much easier. And yes, take care of your back. Story 61. Engage in some mechanical tasks such as home improvement, yard work, and vehicle maintenance. It's liberating to demystify these activities. Completing projects brings a sense of accomplishment, and you can teach your significant other and children new skills. Story 62. Moisturize each morning. Nothing crazy. Some E45 or a similar product will do. Just apply it around your face, forehead, nose, and the areas on each side of your nostrils. Focus on any areas with dry skin in particular. Doing this will greatly reduce the signs of aging as you get older. I can't tell you how many guys I know who have severe dry skin on their faces, but it's completely resolved by taking a minute after brushing your teeth in the morning. Also, remember to brush your teeth. Story 63. Calling yourself an involuntary celibate and following the movement will only pull you further away from women. Hating never works. Story 64. Never feel comfortable or safe in your relationships, job, or elsewhere. You may believe your relationship is secure, but she may have already checked out and be working on moving on. You might think your job is secure, but it could be automated or outsourced. She may find a way to blame you, and arguing will be pointless. Your job may declare you redundant, rendering anything you've done for them insignificant. When you think you've made it, you are only setting yourself up for a devastating loss. To avoid devastation, do not invest your hopes in the belief that what is currently going well in your life will continue to do so. You can do everything right and still discover that it was wrong in an instant. Story 65. There are different condom sizes beyond just regular and large. Using a poorly fitting condom negatively affected my sex life for years. Now, it feels surprisingly close to being without one. Story 66. It is very unlikely that you will become a millionaire if you are not already one. That does not mean you should not strive for success, but success should be something more tangible and achievable. Also, listen to people around you who know what they are doing. Learn and improve yourself. Story 67. Even if you are in a job that feels unfulfilling and you believe you have nothing of real value, always invest in a prenuptial agreement. If your partner refuses to sign it, she may not be the right choice for you. Story 68. Save as much money as you can. The dollar you save today will be the dollar that helps you tomorrow. Seriously, do not waste your money on material things. Focus on getting a good job, securing a roof over your head, and having a reliable car. If you wish to start a family, that is fine too. Everything else is just distraction. Story 69. Don't be embarrassed to wear earplugs in loud places. Your eyesight may begin to decline in your mid-40s. There is at least a 50% chance that your partner may be unfaithful, or the opposite could be true. Consider getting a prenuptial agreement. Avoid being unfaithful. Story 70. Floss, use a tongue scraper, and brush your teeth. Get regular cleanings if you can afford a third or fourth visit. If not, consider going to a dental school. It should cost about $20 to $40. Story 71. What toxic/fragile masculinity is, and why it's important to stay true to yourself. Masculinity must be constantly earned and is always at risk of being revoked, feeding into unhealthy attitudes and behaviors. For example, if you go to the gym and work on strength, any social interaction outside the gym that requires a display of strength presents an opportunity for your masculinity to be challenged and potentially diminished if you are unable to succeed, especially if someone else can. This applies to nearly any situation where men typically attribute masculinity, such as attracting women, their salaries, their possessions, their sex appeal, and so on. One can easily come up with an analogy like the one above. What happens when a social encounter embarrasses someone fixated on proving their masculinity? They lash out. They might label the woman who declined them as unattractive or rude. They feel inadequate. I make half of what he does, and he works less? They experience envy. They feel diminished not merely because they fell short of their own goals, but because they feel they have less than someone else. Contrary to what certain influencers might suggest, masculinity isn't something you earn and then keep regardless of your actions later. It is something that has to be continually earned, and unfortunately, this encourages toxic behavior. You can define your own masculinity through your strength, your earnings, or even your relationships, but you do not need to compare yourself to others. You should not let others dictate how or where you derive your masculinity. Ironically, the least masculine thing one can do is allow others to make them feel less masculine. Embrace yourself. If you are not happy, set your own goals with your happiness in mind. Story 72. Go easy on alcohol and drink plenty of water to avoid hangovers. I'm doing my best to drink only on Friday nights, but it's becoming difficult due to the current state of everything. Story 73. When a person starts acknowledging you, stop talking and consider why. This applies to all genders. It just seems that women recognize more than others. Story 74. Focus on yourself. Stop worrying so much about that one girl. Know your worth. Know when to walk away. It may sound cliché, but I promise you there are many fish in the sea. Be humble. Story 75. You need to learn to be comfortable with yourself before you can truly be comfortable with others. Story 76. Sometimes the girl just doesn't like you, and that's okay. You didn't necessarily do anything wrong, and you won't change her mind. It is what it is. Don't keep pestering her for a date or asking for a reason why not. Just respect her decision and move on. Story 77. Stretch before and after working out or starting your shift at work. Enjoy being able to use the restroom quickly and avoid accidents after adjusting your clothing for a few minutes after you've finished. Health enthusiasts are not crazy. You cannot reverse clogged arteries, so develop the habit of eating healthier while you are young and try to exercise at least 30 minutes a week. Tell your family and friends you love them and how much they mean to you. You never know when it might be the last time you see someone. Try to ensure that screens do not take up more than half of your day or life. This includes computers, phones, televisions, and smartwatches. Make an effort to spend time in nature. It is free, easy, and greatly benefits your mental health and well-being. Learn to maintain a work-life balance. Your employer needs you. You do not need your employer. Discover your love language and your partner's as well. This understanding contributes significantly to a healthy relationship. Story 78. Don't get too comfortable in a job. If you want to increase your salary quickly, job hopping usually works well. Story 79. Do your best to understand that work is just work and not the source of your happiness. Many people tend to bring their work home and vice versa, which can lead to poor decisions, whether verbal or physical. If you have a partner, there is nothing wrong with discussing your day, but keep it to 10 or 15 minutes. Additionally, work is often not your friend. Usually, the organization does not genuinely care about you. Story 80. Spend money on things that separate you from the ground. Good quality shoes and a quality bed are worth the investment. Story 81. Relationships end, and morals can change under certain circumstances and temptations. People are more important than money, and sometimes sacrifice is worthwhile. Story 82. Empathy and humility are essential values. There appears to be an increase in toxic masculinity and selfishness today compared to earlier times. Social media likely plays a role in this shift. Story 83. Remember names, say hello, and it is better to leave a conversation a little early than a little late. These three things will make people think of you fondly. Story 84. From my perspective, being a good person requires reason, temperance, tolerance, and compassion. Often, social expectations dictate how men are supposed to behave, typically characterized as masculine, aggressive, confrontational, and domineering. In my view, the characteristics of being a man are entirely relative, not only to the individual but also to the culture in which we were raised. If being a man is defined by the traits mentioned earlier, then I personally do not want to be a man. I strive to be what I consider to be a good person. Story 85. Your coworkers are not your friends. Be cordial and courteous. Do a good job, but do not speak carelessly or assume anything will be kept private. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Story 86. Stretch. Make thoughtful choices regarding food and finances. Stretch. Don't drink excessively. Don't drink too little. Stretch. Find a good partner. Stretch. Listen to punk rock. Work towards a world you may never see. Stretch. Love and care for dogs. Intimacy keeps you young. Good hobbies will make you happy. Your children are the largest investment in your life. Stretch. Learn to cook at least 10 great dishes. Stretch. Create art or appreciate it. Stretch. It doesn't matter how old you are. Approach every day as if you have 80 years to live, and each one matters. And for the love of all that is sacred, stretch. Story 87. Live below your means. Costs always increase, such as rent, utilities, and food. Being able to save early will significantly benefit your mental health when you have cash in the bank for emergencies. Story 88. Cooking and cleaning up after yourself are life skills that everyone should know. They are not just for girls. Story 89. Don't think that you can't go to school for 4 years just because you will be over 30 then. You will be over 30 anyway. Use that time wisely. Exercise more than you eat. Schedule a full checkup with your doctor. Story 90. Does your back hurt? Start doing yoga as soon as possible. You don't need to pay for classes. YouTube channels like Yoga with Adrian will teach you everything you need to know for free. Do your feet hurt? Soak them in hot water with Epsom salt. Learn how to cook healthy foods. Not only will it help you impress a partner, but you'll also feel better than if you eat takeout every week. There are numerous resources for cooking available online, and it's really not as difficult as it seems. Massage therapy is worth the money. Chiropractors may not be necessary. If you can afford a nice bed, do it. Sleep is incredibly important, and you need to prioritize better sleep habits. Exercise. You don't have to hit the gym 7 days a week. Just do anything. Even a 30-minute walk around the block is beneficial for you. Story 91. Learn to be patient and know when to be honest. Learn to be kind and when to be tough. Being a man is more than any one thing. It is about being disciplined enough to take a breath and respond to what the moment calls for to best serve the ones you love. Story 92. Don't let go of your hobbies and make sure you do the things you want to do. I've noticed this with many people in their 30s or older, not just men. Life gets busy, and suddenly people feel they don't have time. I don't exactly have a lot of extra hours after work, playing with my kids, or talking with my wife. Doing things around the house takes a lot of time as well. The key is to make time. Otherwise, you will be 60 wishing you had made time because by then, for most people, you won't be able to do all the same things you could have. Additionally, if you say you are going to do something, make an honest attempt at doing it. Less talk, more action. Story 93. If you get in shape earlier, it seems easier to keep going than to start late. I am glad I lost weight at the end of high school rather than in my 30s. I can fall off track a bit and usually get back into it in a few weeks. However, it does keep getting worse. I pull muscles or end up with sore spots more often than I would like, but still less often than many people my age. Story 94. Try dating before it's too late. There's not plenty of time, as people say. College is the perfect time to meet life partners. Once you're past 30, the odds are very much against you. Story 95. No means no. Pressuring someone who is silent is not a yes. Wiping yourself is not wrong. The justification for claiming it is equates to saying if you engage in self-pleasure, you are somehow touching another man, which is absurd. Maintain proper hygiene. Washing thoroughly can enhance intimacy. In a consenting relationship, foreplay is important. You only have one back, and foot pain can lead to back pain. Visit a doctor if you are feeling unwell, whether physically or emotionally. Do not hesitate to call in for a legitimate reason, but avoid abusing this privilege and refrain from sharing excessive details. You can simply say, "I won't be available tomorrow. I apologize for the short notice." If they press for more information, say it is personal and you won't discuss it. Allow your manager to manage. It is their responsibility to find a replacement when needed. Your boss is not your caregiver. They are not emotionally invested in your personal life. Your boss is unlikely to remember all the times you went above and beyond, stayed late, or came in early. However, your family will remember the times you were absent. Learn to cook about 10 basic meals from scratch. This can be an impressive skill when trying to win someone over. Do not be afraid to approach a friend with a problem. For instance, if someone is drinking too much and becomes dangerous, it is better to bring it to their attention than to ignore it. Sun damage is serious. Take care of your skin. Protect your hearing at concerts and events, as well as during activities like working on cars. Tinnitus can be debilitating. Real human interactions are crucial for mental health. I have found that setting aside time for inexpensive group outings once or twice a month is immensely beneficial. Choose places where you can relax and converse without many distractions, preferably without alcohol or limiting drinks to just a couple during the entire event. Consider a potluck dinner, visiting a friend's house for cigars, going on a hike, or a low-stakes poker night among friends. Such gatherings allow for talking and laughing, making them affordable for everyone, including those on tighter budgets. Communicate openly before and after intimacy about what you liked or did not enjoy. Make sure to ask in a considerate manner. If you come across as rude, you may not receive a positive response. For example, you might say, "I love the excitement I feel when I am intimate with you. How would you feel about trying specific technique, toy, hand placement, or position?" Express a genuine desire to please them, and they will likely reciprocate. Remember to listen intently, really listen. This applies both to enjoying nature and to listening to loved ones. My stepfather once shared a saying from the Roman Catholic Church: "You have 2 ears and 1 mouth. You should listen twice as much as you talk." I am not religious, but I find this advice helpful at times. Story 96. Learn to understand and communicate your feelings clearly, and do not settle for a partner who cannot do the same. Story 97. Please, marijuana is not worth the high. Unless you need it, don't let the armchair scientists cherry-pick articles. Maybe it's not unhealthy physiologically, or an addictive chemical, or whatever. Life moves fast when you're high. You forget the little moments in your day. The little moments make up most of your life. Don't waste them. Story 98. Learn how to live alone. That way, when you are with someone you love, you can do everything or share any of the responsibilities. Story 99. Most things can be neglected for a while before you notice a problem, and by then it is often too late. Be it teeth, friendships, your house, or your car, a small amount of maintenance makes things last and is much easier than fixing something when it falls apart, which sometimes is not possible to fix at all once it is gone. Story 100. Ask the person out. Rejection isn't that bad. You'll get over it faster than those you never asked. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.